Welcome to Redefine Instruction webcast and podcast series, where we bring a fresh perspective with every season. Grab a cup of coffee and join your host, Sandhya Lakhanpal, for another exciting episode of the Cre8ive Passionpreneur Chronicles, where she unravels freelance marketing and business secrets. Get ready to ignite your entrepreneurial spirit and dive into stories that will empower you to achieve your goals and live life on your own terms. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for the latest episodes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Passionpreneur Chronicles by Redefine Instruction. I'm your host, Sandhya Lakhanpal, and today we have the privilege of sitting down with a remarkable guest who has dedicated her life to empowering small business owners and individuals alike. Please join me in welcoming Jane Lehman to the show. Jane's passion for supporting small business owners is evident in her role as a seasoned professional in the field of legal resources and voluntary employee benefits. With over 14 years of experience with LegalShield, Jane has become a trusted partner for business owners seeking to protect and empower themselves and their employees, both legally and in identity theft preparedness. But Jane's journey to this impactful career is as unique as it is inspiring. Before diving into the world of legal services, Jane spent an impressive 30 years as a professional musician, mastering the French horn and gracing symphony orchestras across Germany for a quarter of a century. Her return to the United States marked a pivotal moment as she transitioned from the realm of music to become a certified mediator. During her time as a mediator, Jane witnessed firsthand the challenges faced by individuals who lacked access to legal representation, sparking her awareness of the essential need for services like LegalShield. With a strong belief that everyone deserves to understand and protect their rights, Jane's dedication to her work is unwavering. She strives to enlighten individuals on the true benefits of affordable legal services and the critical importance of identity theft protection. Today, we're diving deep into Jane's wealth of knowledge, her experiences, and her insights into helping individuals and businesses thrive through understanding their rights and access to legal support. So, grab your headphones and get ready to be inspired as we delve into a captivating conversation with Jane Lehman. Jane, thank you for joining us today and sharing your invaluable expertise and journey with our listeners.
Good morning, Jane. Thank you so much for coming on my podcast and talking to my listeners. I'm so excited to have you today, and I can't wait to dive into questions, but I want to start with your journey, right? So you bring a very unique aspect, the legal aspect of small business owners and freelancers. So I want to ask you, how did you decide to help folks with the legal aspects of their business?
Well, I began with the company that I'm with LegalShield, as a certified mediator. So I was in court a lot, and I saw the need for my own business. If I'm not in court, I'm not covered. I needed something to protect me. Now, I have insurance, but insurance is one thing. Having the ability to call a lawyer first is another, right? Before I get my insurance company involved in anything. And so if it's good for me, it's probably good for other business owners. And I joined LegalShield and learned, of course, I've been here 15 years now, that it is a wide range that we can cover many small business owners. So I saw the need for not just business owners, everyone. That's why I include their employees in this.
Awesome. So let's start with the most basic question, right? So a lot of freelancers and small business owners think they don't need any legal coverage when they start, right? Give me the answer to is this even necessary, right? I haven't run into any legal issues. Why should I go looking for legal coverage?
Why would you not need a lawyer? Every contract you sign when you're starting a business is written by someone's lawyer somewhere. Wouldn't you want to have your lawyer review those contracts first? That's just the most basic question right there. You're signing contracts, possibly. Now, this is for a business owner with a foundation, a business. I mean, a storefront. They're going to have lease contracts that they have to sign. There's all kinds of paperwork being signed in starting a business. And a freelancer may work from home. wouldn't he be wise not just to talk to his tax person, but to talk to a tax attorney about some of the tax aspects, the legal tax, things that have to do with legal issues with your taxes and what you can take off as a freelancer. And there's just so many questions. And what do they need to look out for as a freelancer?
Right.
Contractor, somebody working on a 1099.
Right. And I'm thinking more other minor issues, right? So for example, if as a freelancer or somebody who's a small business owner, you're hiring someone on a 1099, you have subcontractor agreements, you have IPs to cover yourself against, you've got non-disclosure agreements, all of that comes to mind. And a lot of times we think that we can go get some free templates from somewhere and get a signature and that should cover us. But what are some of the pitfalls of getting those free templates?
Oh, that made the hair go up on the back of my neck when you said it that way, because that's what too many people are doing. They're getting free forms online that they never have reviewed because they're trying to save money.
Right.
And in doing so, they are opting for forms that they don't understand completely, that are not written for them. They're not personalized in a way, necessarily in a legal way. They want to have these contracts looked over by a lawyer before and after they've revised them to make sure everything fits for them. And it just doesn't make sense to do business any other way.
Right. What types of legal coverages, right? Besides all these templates and stuff, what are some of the other types of legal coverages where a freelancer would come to you or a small business owner would come to you?
Every day, a small business owner every day has questions. And the bigger the business, of course, the more moving parts there are, the more legalities there are to it. There are compliance issues. Especially after COVID, so many laws changed. Am I still compliant? If you don't know, call your lawyer. Right. Why are people not calling their lawyer? Because they're watching their budget first. And we want you to pick up the phone and talk to a lawyer without having to look at your budget.
Right. And so I know this came up in our personal conversation when we were not actually on the podcast, that legal coverage doesn't have to be expensive, right? And that's one of the reasons why most people gravitate towards these free resources, is because they're trying to keep their budget low, as you said.
Right.
But you also mentioned to me through LegalShield and the services that you offer that things are not really as expensive as you imagine them to be. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Well, absolutely. When you're looking at just a dollar amount in front of you and you think, well, this is the cheaper way to do it. Right. You're not looking down the road at how expensive things could get.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to get around talking to a lawyer simply because of the cost of that lawyer, you may be setting yourself up to spend a whole lot more money down the line. As many a lawyer will tell you, everyone hates a lawyer until they need one.
Right.
Well, we don't want you to get to that point. We want to help you with lawyers before you get to that point. We want you to use lawyers the way they were meant to be used, for getting legal advice before you make decisions, before you sign contracts. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Of course, when something happens, of course, we're there for that as well.
Right. So are you saying that they can then have somebody like you for even the most basic questions to ask, right? So do I need a contractor agreement? Do I need an NDA? Or what are some of the other things I'm not thinking about when I'm doing business with X person? Do I need insurance, right? Those are the very basic questions. And I feel like I'm going to be charged $250 for every 30 minutes, so I'm not going to go to this legal person. But it doesn't, what I'm hearing is it doesn't have to be. And I can actually have somebody with a legal background, such as yourself, and I can pick up and call that person. And how does one go about doing, getting services like that from you? Like, is there some retainer that they can sign up for? What are some of the services?
No,
sorry, I know I threw a lot in there. Sorry.
Okay, first of all, I'm not a lawyer. I broker the services and I help you figure out what is the best plan for you. What we do is, as a member of LegalShield, when I sign up someone. I am their representative. I'm the person they can turn to whenever they have questions, aren't sure what to do. Right. I usually send them, of course, to the law firm. So many questions are legal. Ask your lawyer. Ask your lawyer. We're asking friends, family, and Facebook for advice. And our,
oh my goodness, yes.
Our friends know just as little as we do, right? And we want you to call that lawyer. There are no stupid questions. And oftentimes you'll ask a question to the lawyer, but that'll spark something else in his mind, and he'll come up with a completely different idea that you'd never even thought of. Right. So you're having this discussion, this conversation with a highly qualified professional that you otherwise couldn't have afforded. And I mentioned that, you mentioned $250 for 30 minutes. I was talking to someone up in New York City, and I said, it's better than spending $500 an hour for a business attorney. And she said, 500, try 800 in New York.
Right.
And I was just flabbergasted. No, it doesn't have to cost that much. The consultation is free as a member. Right. You can pick up the phone and talk to a lawyer, and they will call you within 4 hours. You're getting a call the same day for business hours to talk to a lawyer about whatever's going on in your business.
Right.
The minute something happens, say a customer slips in your store and they say they're fine and they leave, call your attorney right now.
Yeah.
Just talk to them about what just happened and get some ideas in case that person turns around and said, well, I got home and my neck kind of hurt. Right. You want to talk to your attorney right up front, so you'll know where to go from there.
What the pitfalls are, yeah. And I think the number of pitfalls and the variety of pitfalls are very, very different when it comes to digital products, right? That the complexity becomes so much higher. Now, I hear of instances where somebody's bought a high-ticket product, they're not satisfied with it, and now they want their money back. And I know that there are a lot of digital product creators or content creators who offer the 30-day money back guarantee. But I'm talking scenarios in which people come back 6 months later and say, hey, I want my money back because I didn't get the results, or you suggested this and this backfired, right? So share some scenarios where you have seen the first sign of trouble, and that's when people have reached out to you or a lawyer for guidance, where they could have actually taken the coverage or thought about things way far in advance and covered themselves rather than coming to you at the 11th hour or the first sign of trouble.
Exactly. That, first of all, up front, you would have had the contract reviewed by your attorney, and you would understand exactly what is in that contract, that you would then down the road see, oh, well, actually, I did agree to that because I signed it. But on the other side, call your lawyer, because maybe you haven't had that document, or even if you did have the document reviewed and you feel like, no, they're in breach of contract. I did that once with a wireless internet company. Now, this was not a high cost, but the services didn't work and I work from home.
Right.
And I said, I have to quit your services because they don't work. We tried for several days and nothing worked. And I'll have to quit and get a different service. And they said to me, well, that's fine, you can quit, but you owe us an early termination fee.
Right.
And I was surprised. I said, why would I pay you $200 early termination fee when your services never worked? And they were dead serious. The woman said, because you're under contract with us. And I kind of chuckled. I said, oh, I thought you were too. Right. I mean, I can't even get into that conversation. They're not budging. Customer service is not budging. I hang up, call my law firm, and attorney talked to me about it. I showed him the bill, sent the bill in. He could see what was going on. He wrote a letter to that company. And 10 days later, I got a letter that said, we're so happy to inform you, you have a zero balance and you are in good standing with our company.
Oh, wow.
That's the difference in me dealing with customer service and my attorney writing a letter to their legal department.
Right, right. I'm going to play the devil's advocate over here, right? Because you brought up this scenario. Would the attorney cost me more, or would the $250 contract release fee be like, you kind of try to weigh the pros and cons, right? Right. Should I just pay the $250 for breach of contract or cutting the contract short? Or is the lawyer going to charge me more to write that letter, right? That's kind of where we approach things from.
No, the letter is free.
Okay. Nice.
As a member of LegalShield, those letters are written at no cost at all. Awesome. And that's a separate portion. We also do collection letters. So you're no longer paying some service that's giving you a good fee of $75 per letter. We're writing those letters for you as a member. That's a, again, separate. You can have letters written on your behalf. You can have collection letters written too. So these are all different aspects that a business owner needs.
Nice, nice. So you've mentioned consultation calls, right? You've also mentioned letters. Tell me some of the other services that LegalShield offers.
Are you a podcast enthusiast looking to share your voice and ideas with the world? Here is an exciting opportunity. Introducing the Ultimate Podcast Guide, designed to help you unleash your creativity and build your own podcast. Grab your free copy at redefineinstruction.com/ultimate podcast guide. Find a link in the show notes. Happy podcasting.
Well, there are, depending on different levels of membership, you can have contracts drafted. You have civil trial defense. If you're ever sued, you can have trial defense hours. And you can have designated consultations, such as if you're thinking of getting a patent, a trademark, you're doing something along these lines, talk to an attorney about it first, and no, there's no clock running there. You can have, well, on the designated consultation, it's a 30-minute consultation, but normally consultations are unlimited. You can talk to the attorney as long as you need to. The designated ones, you'll have a trademark or a patent attorney talking to you for 30 minutes to determine what is it that you need and which way do you need to go. Right there is that's a huge savings, because those are very expensive attorneys.
Right. And I hear specialized lawyers in your statement, right? So you've got trademark experts over there. What if I had questions about podcasting and I needed a lawyer for those questions, such as how to register my podcast, or I have a guest who's not happy with the recording or wants me to take out a section of the podcast, but I disagree with that person. So what about those type of questions?
Get on the phone with your lawyer. We have every area of law for a business owner. Anybody that has a LegalShield membership, you're covered for all areas of law. And that you're again, make that call. When you call into the law firm, you're talking to the receptionist and you let them know, I have this question about a podcast. And they're going to have an attorney on the phone with you who is qualified in this area of law. They know what they're talking about, right? There are so many areas of law. That's why I say specialized. I'm, of course, talking qualified attorneys. These attorneys have, they're not fresh out of law school. They are not paralegals or secretaries. You're always talking to a qualified attorney. Nice.
Right? So tell me, how does it work? I buy a membership. Who's my first point of contact? Okay, I sign all that paperwork to get LegalShield on my side, right? But we are past that onboarding point,
right? And
I just need a general consultation. Who's the first person I'm going to reach out to, and how do you come into the picture?
By the time you get set up, which it takes about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how savvy you are on your computer. It doesn't take long at all. And I walk people through that quite often. They go to my website and we walk them through that. They get a little notice that says, welcome to LegalShield, and it'll take 24 to 48 hours to get them ready. Now, usually they're ready within several hours and not even a day. And right away, they can now pick up the phone and call their law firm. The whole thing works on an app, and I don't know if you can see this. I'll pull up my app to see if I can show this. I should have actually had this before, and to show you what it looks like. And you simply tap the app. It's wanting my face to get verified. So if you pick up your phone,
I can actually see it. Yes, nice.
Yeah. And you can either call into the law firm down here, or you can request a consult, which means you click on that, you can schedule when you want them to call you.
Sweet.
It's amazing. And I don't know if you saw this right now on my phone, there's that little white part, and it's telling me that I'm 54% of the way through preparing my will. I am updating my will. I get that prepared here on my phone. It's the same questionnaire you would be given if you were talking to a lawyer face to face. And that will go into my law firm, and an attorney will then call me to talk to me about what I want in my will.
Sweet.
So that's a part of my service. It's a yearly updates, if you'd like, or to update your will and keep it up to date. Everything, medical directives, powers of attorney. Sweet. Those are all things that we provide, not only also to the business owner for a personal side and his employees. If you have employees, his or her, I'm sorry, have the ability to protect their employees, which helps your employees be at work, focused on their jobs, not worried about their life issues that are going on.
Right, right. And so what I'm hearing is that you can be covered for n number of issues depending on the type of membership that you have, right? And those could be personal or business related issues as well. Okay.
So we have personal memberships, we have business memberships, we have a program to help someone who wants to get an LLC, a phenomenal program to help you even start your business, and giving you unlimited access to a law firm for 3 months during that process. I'd love to talk to anyone who doesn't have their LLC yet and would like to learn more about that. We have plans for commercial drivers, for public servants, such as police officers, emergency vehicles, all of these different areas of public service. We have plans for them as well.
Right, right. So tell me, how do you fit into this map, right? How do you come into the picture?
I am their service provider. I'm their representative. Again, we want you to have personal contact with someone. This is not just some company that's online that you sign up with, and every time you call, you're talking to a call center. You're talking to me. Call me up if you don't know. And then we get you in the air, we get you wherever it is you need to go. And it's the same with our second service is identity theft protection, which a lot of business owners are giving to their employees. I have clients who have fringe benefited the identity theft protection for their employees because they know the danger of a data breach. Right. And if their systems are breached and they're now liable for the information that was stolen, well, now they've given their employees some protective service. And when you call up our identity theft, you're not talking to a call center. Once again, you get put in touch with a private licensed investigator, and you're able to talk to them and get questions answered. And you don't get the feeling that you're just being read a little box off of a computer.
Nice, nice. Yeah. So in other words, this is more of a consultative mechanism or service where, hey, Jane, I'm calling you because I want this contract written, and Jane's going to just turn around some canned contract and give it. No, it's more of a conversation where the person with the legal experience on the other side is going to then think about other scenarios or other things that you might need, or just check in to say, hey, do you have this in place? Because if you're doing this contract, A, B, and C is needed, right? So that's kind of what I'm hearing.
They'll be on the phone with their law firm. And the minute they get signed up, the minute they get the app on their phone, we're teaching people, tap your app, tap your app, call your law firm, get the answers that you need before you go to, just go to Facebook and look at what people are asking each other. It's hair raising. What do you think I should do? And they get answers from people in other states, in other countries. Many questions are state specific. You've got to have a lawyer within your state. Now, if you do business out of state, we also cover you nationwide.
Sweet.
So let's say you're doing business in one state and you've got a contract in another state and they're not fulfilling their contract. You would get your law firm on the phone and they will connect you to the law firm in the other state where you will get help with that. So as an example, I had a veterinarian. He is my longest standing business client. He joined me 15 years ago when I was brand new in the company, still has my services. He had already been sued and knows what it's like to be frivolously sued. So he saw the need for this, but he got the services, and he came in front of our networking group one day and said, I want to talk about LegalShield. And the way he said it kind of set me back, like, what's he going to say? Because he sounded kind of angry, but he was. He said, I had a $25,000 piece of equipment that stopped working. It was under warranty. I didn't, it's from New Jersey. I'm in Michigan. They stopped talking to me. The company wouldn't respond to me. And I don't even know where to turn. So I thought I'll try this legal thing that Jane has. And he picked up the phone, called his attorney, and they got him on the phone with a lawyer, with the law firm in New Jersey, who wrote a letter on his behalf to that company. And 2 weeks later at the meeting, he said, I just want everyone to know this saved me $25,000.
Nice.
And that's a great feeling. And
that's a great testimonial.
It did not cost him 1 cent.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah. Besides the membership, of course, right?
Right. Not above, I'm talking above the cost of your membership.
Right. That's the bare minimum that he had that coverage as part of it. Okay. So we talked about free templates, right? there are also sites like LegalZoom, right? So I think, okay, well, I don't want to pay the price of $250 or $500 an hour, right? I can go to something like LegalZoom, which has the word legal attached to it. So apparently these are free resources that are vetted by legal people. Why not get services from something like LegalZoom versus coming to you? Because that would work out much cheaper.
Well, it doesn't work out cheaper because, first of all, to the credit of any company out there that has free online forms, they all say, have this form reviewed by an attorney. And most people forego that step. And they should. I know lawyers who will not look at online forms because they're so poorly written. And they're not finished. No document is complete. They can't be. They want you to have these forms personalized for your business, for your situation. And you can't do that without the help of an attorney. And unfortunately, many small business owners have done exactly that. They've taken these free online forms, changed things that they think make it look good for themselves, and they've started their business, and their business has absolutely no legal foundation, and they don't know that. And they won't know that until something happens, and then they crash and burn. Right. Because they haven't set things up properly. Nice. So yeah. I don't know about who the lawyers that you're given on any other company's site. I do know that with LegalShield, we have a dedicated nationwide network of law firms, all of whom we know, all of whom we've been working with. And that's one of the powerful things about this company, is that we know our lawyers, we know what they do. The law firms are highly rated, and we hold them also accountable. This is the three things people don't like about lawyers. They're too expensive. Nobody holds them accountable, and they're not responsive. People say that are they going to call me? I don't even know. Well, LegalShield is very affordable. We've taken care of that. Response time is 4 hours. And if that doesn't happen, if something in there is not working out to your satisfaction, the third, accountability. You've got to remember, you're talking to a law firm. LegalShield has no idea about that. LegalShield owns the telephone lines to the law firm. They cannot listen in. That's totally illegal, right? But they can see how many times has the phone rang, and when did you get back to this person on time? And if something's not working, LegalShield will now, I let them know. I want my clients, my members, to let me know when there's something not right. If it happens, we get in touch with LegalShield, and they contact the law firm, and things move very quickly. And that's why I love this company, what it's doing and what it's building.
Yeah. So you're holding your lawyers accountable. That's what I hear. And these are highly vetted people, not just call center folks sitting on the other end reading off of a script. So as we're talking about templates, does LegalShield also offer contracts and templates and agreements? And what are some of the frequently used ones?
Many people, yes. Every state, of course, has their own agreements. They have their own laws. The law firm usually has a whole separate subset for LegalShield, and that's where their documents and things are. Some of the most, you've already named some of the most popular ones, such as venture agreements or non-disclosure agreements, things like that. And, there's just so many more agreements there. And again, talk to the lawyer first, find out what exactly is it that you need. And on one of our two of our bigger plans, there is the possibility to have up to 25 pages, a contract up to 25 pages written for a flat fee of $250. That's that in the real world, having a contract written at one page can cost you $300. So we're talking
$750, half page.
Okay, for one page.
Yes. For one or two pages, yeah.
Right, we're talking a $250 flat fee for up to 25 pages. So that's,
oh my goodness, that's a bargain in itself. That's a deal right there.
If you take each aspect of what we do, just at the very beginning, we talked about consultation. Just that is worth the price of any membership that you get, period.
Nice.
And then everything else is, extra. A lot of people will see it for what that one point that they need. And then you add everything into it, and their eyes are open like, oh, I get all that. Yes, you do.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, we mentioned different services that you offer. If somebody wanted to learn more about LegalShield and what you do you offer educational webinars or sessions, and where can they access those?
Absolutely. Well, the first thing is to have a conversation with me. I'd love to have a conversation with them. And so that I can get them the right material. I don't want to waste your time. I want you to see what you need to see, because there's a lot of material out there. So we want to get you the right materials. And how do you like to, do you want to watch a video? Do you want to look at flat sheets, PDFs? Would you like to join a live Zoom presentation? There's all different ways of doing it. So that's why it's just a short conversation with someone to see, how can I help you get the information you need? I can send them a link right on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn quite a bit. So I'm sure that when, I'll make sure that people can contact me through LinkedIn.
Right. And that is my final question. How do people reach out to you? Where can they find you?
Okay, they can find me on LinkedIn. They can find me through my email, which I think you're going to provide everything afterwards.
Yes.
They can call me. My phone number is 810-333-3442. I would love to have a conversation. And since I probably don't know your phone number, it won't recognize your phone number, you can text me also.
Nice.
Text me at 810-333-3442 with your name and how you would like to be contacted, whether email, phone call, LinkedIn, and I will get in touch with you.
Awesome. Thank you. This has been really, really informative session for me personally and for my listeners out there. So thank you again for speaking with me this morning, Jane. It has been a pleasure, and I look forward to talking more.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Nice.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Redefine Instruction. Please leave feedback. Leave a comment or question on any of our social media pages. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for the latest episodes.